Hey Kenzie, let's check this problem out. Definitely a rant about matrix, like systems of equations and stuff. A lot of this is like very, very picky math. Not my favorite type of math for sure. So make sure you take lots of breaks and definitely ask for help. You don't need to work on stuff for, 2 hours. Just give it a few shots and let me know if you need any help. I'm always more than happy to provide some assistance. So here's what we got so far. We have this equation right here, ax squared plus bx plus c. We have three ordered pairs, which are basically 3 points, and we have to do math and figure out what's going on here, right? Before we do that, just a bit of geekery. Here's a graphing calculator. It's Desmos, Desmos. It's free, it's beautiful. Look, and here's what we got. We basically have these three ordered pairs, right? Just to give you a visual of what we're doing. And there's a line that rips right through these, and it's a nice quadratic, which means it's a curved line, okay? And basically we need to figure out what the equation is, and when we do that, we're going to replace A, B, and C. We're going to do all this work to find A, B, and C, and we're going to generate an equation. And hopefully if we did it right, we're going to get something like this. This line perfectly, beautifully rips right through those 3 points. Now you can do this with a graphing calculator. Look what I did. I just entered the ordered pairs. Here's our first ordered pair, our second ordered pair, and our third ordered pair. And then I basically just did a regression in Desmos. I typed y1, so that just subs in the y column here. It regresses, so I use tilde, which is a shift and then the upper left hand button right below your escape on your keyboard. And then I just went with ax1 squared because this whole column is denoted as x1 plus bx1 plus c. Let that rip, and the stats told me that I got an r squared value of 1, which is a perfect fit. Now none of that really matters. We don't really go into stats in this course, but this is just another method of solving these things or just checking your answer if you're interested in that, okay? So enough geekery. Let's get on to what you did. Now, a bunch of different ways you could do this. The computer does it a different way. If we did the math right, it shouldn't matter. So even if you did something different than me, just try to follow along and maybe piece it out. Even when I was doing this one on paper here, I made an addition error, like a stupid mistake, and that totally killed me down the road. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go after C's. I'm going to take equation 1, and I'm going to multiply that by -1, and then I'm going to add it to equation 2. Now you could multiply equation 2 by -1 and add it to equation 1. It's cool. The answer should still come out to be the same. Okay, so for me anyway, negative equation 1, I'm just going to flip the sign basically on all this. So I have 7 equals minus A minus B minus C, and I'm going to add that to equation 2. -9 equals 4a plus 2b plus c. And feel free to skip this video along. I know this is like the equivalent of watching paint dry, right? Just watching me add stuff. So quick little combination. Going to have 3a plus b, and our c's are gone. They have canceled, and this is known as equation 4 now, right? I'll put a little box around that. For my second equation, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take negative equation 1, which I'll just copy over thusly, and I'm going to add it to equation 3. Again, I'm going to cancel off my c's. Okay, so we'll let that rip. Minus 32 on that one. We're going to have 8a. We're going to have minus 4b, and our c's are gone, so that's it. And you could call this equation 5 if you want as well. Okay, now the key thing to remember, let me get back and make some more room for myself. Bear with me here. It's hard to do all this stuff on void. The key thing to remember when you're doing this, eliminate the same variable, because it does us no good to have two equations that have a bunch of different variables going on, right? So if we did that right, I'm left with -2 equals 3a plus b, and I'm left with -32 equals 8a plus b. Now we can go after whatever we want, but when I look at this, maybe we'll go after, oh, minus 4b. See that? Got to be careful. Minus 4b. See that one error? Boom. Could have killed us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take equation 4, my top number here. I'm going to multiply that by 4 because I'm going to go after my b's, right? So if I do that, I'm going to have a 4b up here, and I'm going to have a minus 4b down here, and we'll be good to go. So when I do that, I'm going to get 4 times -2 is going to be like a little wall here, -8. 4 times 3a is 12a, and 4 times b is plus 4b. I'm going to add that to my equation 5, or whatever I called that, equation 5, right? Minus 4b. Okay, we'll combine that up. So I'm going to get negative 40. It's going to equal 20a, and our b's are gone. So at this point, I know you mentioned you hit a decimal. So what I would do if I were you, just go back and check your addition. Maybe you just multiplied something wrong, or maybe you just combined things wrong. And again, if you didn't do it exactly this way, check that for your error first, because obviously we're not going to get a decimal here, right? So if I'm going to get a by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 20, and a is going to come out to be negative 2, right? Zeros go away, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So a is negative 2. And once we're there, obviously you kind of know what's happening next. We have a crack in the armor. Let's go back to any one of our two variable equations. I know what a is, I can find b. So just for the sake of argument, I'm going to take this one right here, just because it looks easier and I'm lazy, I guess. Negative 2 equals 3a plus b. Some people rip a in right here. You can do that too. I like to do a little bit of algebra first. I don't know why. Makes me feel fancy maybe. I'm just going to get all that over here. So make some more room. I'm going to have negative 3a minus 2 is going to give me b. Negative 3, of course, times negative 2 minus 2 equals b. Negative 3 times negative 2 is 6. 6 minus 2 equals b, and b is going to equal 4. So I know what a is, I know what b is, and now we can go right back up to the top of this thing, and I can just pick one of these starting equations. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to do the top one just because it looks nice and easy, and then we'll blast it in from there. Let me make some more room too, because I'm quickly running out of space here. Okay. So we're going to find c. I'm just going to rearrange this right quick. I know that c is going to equal, if I subtract the a and subtract the b, it's going to equal negative 7 minus a minus b. So that's like saying negative 7 plus 2, right? Because remember, we're minus a minus 2 here, and then we're going to minus 4 from that. Okay, that's a plus, not a multiply. Okay, so 7 plus 2 is minus 5, minus 4 is minus 9. So c is going to equal minus 9. So now we found a, b, and c, and basically we can answer our question. I'm just going to, I don't know why I'm erasing all this, but basically we just replace a, b, and c in our equation with those coefficients that we found. So a is negative 2 plus b, which is 4x, minus 9. Okay, so that's going to be our equation. And again, we can confirm that by graphing it, just like I did here. You can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, it tells me that A is negative 2, B is 4, and C is 9. So again, if you want to try Desmos.com, and there's a great little table here on regressions, but you just do it like that. You can confirm your findings that way. Obviously, what this is leading up to is matrices, which is a little bit of a slicker system. It's easier to solve. I know this stuff is really frustrating, so take your time, use technology. This is all computer math, and take frequent breaks is my best advice for you. So I hope that helps. If it doesn't, write me back and let me know. We can chat a little bit more then. Thanks.